Okay, good afternoon, students. In last class, we discussed the 2 points. 1 point, definition of refraction. Second one, laws of refraction. What is the definition of refraction? If any ray of light is traveling from one optical medium to another optical medium, then its direction changes. This phenomenon is called as refraction of light. What is that condition? If any ray of light is traveling from one optical medium to another optical medium, then its direction changes. This phenomenon is called as refraction of light. Here, refraction of light explain two laws. First one, first law of refraction. Second one, second law of refraction. What is first law of refraction? If any ray of light is traveling from one optical medium to another optical medium, then its direction changes. You have to calculate that angle of incidence and angle of refraction with respect to normal. Angle of incidence and angle of refraction with respect to normal. That angle of incidence not equal to angle of refraction. Angle of incidence not equal to angle of refraction. It is first law of refraction. But what about second law of refraction? Second law of refraction, incident ray, normal, refracted ray, incident ray, normal, refracted ray, lies at a point on refracting surface. Lies at a point on a refracting surface. Snell's law is also called as second law of refraction. Snell's law is also called as second law of refraction. These points we discussed in last class. Okay, now we have to discussing about that Snell's law, definition and formula and some example problems. Okay, students, so now we have to concentrate on the board. What is Snell's law? Snell's law. These all are basics points. I have to learn these basics points. Then we have to start refraction through curved surface. Refraction through curved surface. Okay, students. So first we have to learn these basic points. Laws of refraction. Okay, examples. What is Snell's law? The ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is always constant. Is always constant. Here just identify xy one refracting surface. Xy one refracting surface. That refracting surface separate the two optical medium. How many optical mediums? Two optical medium. One optical medium we have to represent medium 1. Medium 1. Another optical medium, medium 2. Another optical medium, medium 2. Now we have to consider that direction of incident ray. Direction of incident ray. So it represents incident ray. Draw one normal. What is the necessity of that normal? Here normal is required to explain that path of incident ray. Explain that path of incident ray. Now normal we have to draw. Normal is always perpendicular to the point of incidence on a refracting surface. In both the mediums we have to represent that normal. Okay, it represents normal. Normal into and normal m. Now we have to calculate that angle of incidence. Angle of incidence with respect to normal. Angle of incidence we have to consider with respect to normal. Okay, angle of incidence, angle I. Then this light ray is entering into second medium. Then its direction changes. Yes or no? Incident ray just entering into the second medium, then its direction changes. So in which direction it moves means it moves towards normal. It moves towards normal. We have to consider this point. Angle of Refraction, we have to find out angle between refracted ray and normal is called as angle of refraction. Okay, first law of refraction we have to apply. Angle I greater than angle R. Angle I greater than angle R. Understood? But what about Snell's law? Snell's law means here the ratio sine of angle of incidence. What is the optical medium? Optical medium mu1. Optical medium we have to represent mu1. Optical medium or optical density or refractive index. Three words similar. Okay, here optical density of this medium mu1 sin I equal to mu2 sin R. mu2 sin R. Understood? That is equal to constant. That is equal to constant. Here mu1 sin I equal to mu2 sin I. Okay, so just identify the ratio of sin I divided by sin R. The ratio of sin I divided by sin R, that is equal to mu2 divided by mu1, that is equal to 1 mu2. That is equal to 1 mu2. Here 1 represents medium 1, 2 represents medium 2, direction of light ray from first medium to second medium. Then what is the refractive index this second medium? Okay, we have to represent this refractive index of this medium. Okay, so mu2 by mu1, that is equal to sin I by sin R. Here sin I by sin R, sin I by sin R equal to 1 mu2 refractive index. This refractive index represents absolute refractive index. This refractive index represents absolute refractive index. Okay, just identify this point, absolute refractive index. Do you identify this point? So who explained this point? Snell's explained this point. So Snell's explained this point, the ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is always constant. This constant value represents refractive index. Refractive index denoted by the letter mu. What is the letter mu? Pronunciation we have to represent mu. Okay, 1 mu2. Here consider the direction of light ray from medium 1 to medium 2. Medium 1 to medium 2. Understood? Do you have any doubt? Next one, relative refractive index. The relative means we have to compare this refractive index of first medium and the second medium. Refractive index of first medium and the second medium. So here just identify relative refractive index. Relative refractive index. Relative refractive index. Relative means comparison or a difference. Comparison or a difference between two mediums. We have to compare these two mediums. One medium we have to consider air medium, another medium is water medium. Another medium is water medium. Just identify that here. Relative refractive index. Here 1 mu2. 1 mu2 equal to how much? Mu2 by mu1. 1 mu2 equal to mu2 by mu1. Represents relative refractive index. Relative refractive index. Understood, students? Do you have any doubt? Okay, we consider first one Snell's law. With the help of Snell's law, we have to explain that relative refractive index. Okay, with the help of Snell's law, we have to explain this absolute refractive index. Absolute refractive index. This absolute refractive index is used to compare the speed of light in two mediums. Speed of light in two mediums. Here we have to consider air medium. Okay, another one represents water medium. Another one represents water medium. Now we have to compare that speed of light in air medium, speed of light in water medium. Speed of light in water medium be speed of light in a air medium or sea. Okay, students, now we have to compare this speed of light in air medium and water medium. Okay, so just write the speed of light. Speed of light. Speed of light in vacuum medium. In vacuum divided by speed of light. Speed of light. Speed of light in medium. Medium. What is that medium? Water medium. That is equal to refractive index, absolute refractive index. Absolute refractive index. So we have to represent that absolute refractive index 1 mu 2. Understood? Absolute refractive index, nothing but the ratio of speed of light in vacuum medium to the speed of light in medium. Okay, students, note down these three conditions. These three conditions is helpful to solve that higher order thinking problems. Okay, you have to note down these three conditions. Next, we can discuss some example problems. Okay, students. These all points, interdiction points of refraction of light. After that, we have to discuss the refraction of light through curved surface. So don't forget, these points are not there in your textbook. Note down these points, very important points. Otherwise, we cannot understanding about that formula derivations. We know Snell's law. We know laws of refraction. We can easily to explain that conditions. Otherwise, it is a difficult concept for us. Completed. Here, example problem 1. Example problem 1. Here, just identify, it represents normal N1 and N2. Find out that refractive index of the medium. Refractive index of a medium. So here, consider the condition. Angle of incidence represents incident ray. Represents incident ray. Incident ray makes 60 degrees. Makes 60 degree. Okay, now we have to consider that refracted ray. Refracted ray bends towards normal. Here, consider this medium 1, medium 1. It represents medium 2. Medium 2. Okay, angle of refraction. Angle of refraction represents angle R. Angle R equal to how much? 30 degree. Angle R equal to 30 degree. Okay, now find out that absolute, sorry, now we have to find out that refractive index. Find out that refractive index. What is the direction of light ray from rarer optical medium to which medium? Rarer optical medium to dense or optical medium. Rarer medium to dense or medium. Rarer medium to dense or medium. Okay, so just identify 1 mu 2 equal to sin I divided by sin R. 1 mu 2 equal to sin I divided by sin R. Here I represents angle of incidence, R represents angle of refraction. Substitute here sin I value how much? 60 degree divided by sin 30 degree. Okay, sin 60 degree value equal to how much? Sin 60 degree value equal to root 3 by 2. Root 3 by 2 divided by sin 30 degree value 1 by 2. 2 get cancelled. Root 3 value equal to how much? 1.732. Refractive index of second medium how much means 1.732. Okay, na? Students, do you have any doubt? So note down this problem. One more problem I can explain for you. Note down this problem. Okay, example 2. Example 2. Example 2. Directly, they will give optical density of each medium. Optical density of each medium. For example, mu1 equal to 1, mu2 equal to 4 by 3. mu2 equal to 4 by 3. Find out relative refractive index. Find out relative refractive index. Here, x, y represents one refracting surface. This refracting surface can separate the two mediums. One medium, air medium. Okay, another medium, water medium. Another medium, water medium. Now we have to find out relative refractive index. What is the definition of relative refractive index? Relative refractive index is a comparison between two optical density of the medium. Yes or no? So we have to compare. How to compare? So here 1 mu2 equal to mu2 divided by mu1. mu2 divided by mu1. Understood? So it is the ratio of refractive index of second medium to the refractive index of first medium. Refractive index of first medium. So we have to substitute that mu2 value 4 by 3 divided by mu1 value how much? 1. 4 by 3 divided by 1. But 4 by 3 value equal to how much? 1.33. 1.33. It represents relative refractive index of water with respect to air medium. Relative refractive index of water with respect to air medium. That is equal to how much? 1.33. Okay, students. So like that, they will give an example problems in examination. We have to learn this point. Next, one more example problem. One more example problem. Here, consider that refracting surface x, y, incident ray makes certain angle with respect to normal, angle I. Okay, refracted ray bends towards normal. Here, refracted ray makes angle or makes angular with respect to normal. Okay, here speed of light in air medium. Speed of light in a air medium. C equal to 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. Speed of light in air medium 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. Okay, speed of light in water medium. Speed of light in water medium, we have to find out V equal to question mark. V equal to question mark. Refractive index of water. Refractive index of water 4 by 3. How much? 4 by 3. It is a fixed value. For every optical medium is having one fixed value. How like a mass density you have to calculate, same as it is, optical density is also constant for each substance. Okay, so here optical density of water 4 by 3, optical density of air, optical density of air equal to 1. Optical density or refractive index. Refractive index of air medium equal to 1, refractive index of water equal to 4 by 3. Okay, students, now find out that speed of light in water medium, speed of light in a water medium. So what is that condition here? 1 mu 2, 1 mu 2, that is equal to speed of light. Speed of light in vacuum, speed of light in vacuum speed of light in vacuum divided by speed of light in medium. Okay, speed of light in vacuum. How much speed of light in vacuum or air medium? 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. Yes or no? C by V. 1 mu 2. Okay, speed of light how much? 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second divided by V. But 1 mu 2 nothing but mu 2 by mu 1. 1 mu 2 nothing but mu 2 by mu 1. So right here mu 2 divided by mu1 equal to 3 into 10 to the power of 8 divided by v. mu2 value equal to 4 by 3, mu1 value equal to 1. Okay, so right here 4 by 3 equal to 3 into 10 to the power of 8 by v. Okay, students, we're having it out. Now we can write V equal to 3 jars 9. 3 jars 9. 9 into 10 to the power of 8 divided by 4. 4 1 jars 4, 2 jars 8, remaining value 1. Okay, we have to keep a point. Okay, next one. Again, we have to multiply 2 times, next 5 times. So answer 2.25 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. Okay, velocity of light in water medium. Velocity of light in water medium, how much? 2.25 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. Okay, so condition is applicable. Already I explained that condition. Speed of light in dense or optical medium less than 2 speed of light in a rarer optical medium. Sir, no, here density, optical density, how much? 1.33. 1.33 value greater than 1. 1.33 greater than 1. Because of this high optical density, speed of light decreasing in water medium. Speed of light is decreasing in water medium. Understood this point? Okay, students, note down this one. Speed of light in air medium 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. Speed of light in water medium, how much? 2.25 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. This value is less than 2 speed of light in air medium. Note down this example problem. Okay, students. So these all are related to Snell's law problem. But Snell's law explained one important point. What is that important point we have to observe in this example? We here xy, one refracting surface. We have to consider that incident ray perpendicular to the refracting surface. Incident ray perpendicular to the refracting surface. Okay, now normal we have to represent perpendicular to the point of incidence. Okay, perpendicular to the point of incidence in both the mediums. One medium we have to consider air medium, another medium we have to consider water medium. Okay, now tell me that direction of refracted ray in this condition. Angle of incidence how much? Angle of incidence, angle I. But what about angle of refraction? What about angle of refraction? It is a highly complicated problem only. Everyone thinking first law of refraction. If a ray of light is traveling from one optical medium to another optical medium, then refracted ray deviates in another optical medium. Then direction deviates in a denser optical medium. Yes or no? But here we have to observe that direction of incident ray perpendicular to the refracting surface. Yes or no? Here identify that angle of incidence value how much? 0 degree. Find out the direction of angle of refraction. We have to consider that Snell's law. Sin I divided by sin R. Sin I by sin R. Sin I by sin R equal to 1 mu 2. Understood? Sin I by sin R equal to 1 mu 2. But sin I value equal to 0. Sin I value, we have to just identify sin of 0 degree. Sin of 0 degree divided by sin R. Sin of 0 degree divided by sin R equal to 1 mu 2. Equal to 1 mu 2. Understood? Okay, sin 0 by sin R value. Sin 0 by sin R. How much? 1 mu 2 equal to 0. Means here we consider the water medium. That water medium cannot affecting that actual path of incident ray. Cannot affecting that actual path of incident ray because of the reason, the direction of incident ray in straight line path. Okay, are you identify this point? We consider this water medium. In case there is no medium, okay, it represents air medium. We have to imagine one refracting surface, X, Y. This medium is also air medium. This medium is also air medium. Then what is the direction? What is the direction? Same direction. Same direction. In both the condition we have to observe. Here in perpendicular direction, we consider medium, we cannot consider medium, the direction of incident ray in straight line path. Okay, students, this medium cannot affecting that actual path of incident ray direction. What is the angle of refraction we have to calculate? So here, what is that condition? Sin I value, sin 0 degree value, 0 divided by sin R. 0 divided by sin R, that is equal to mu 2 divided by mu 1. But sin R value equal to how much? Sin R value equal to 0 by mu 2 divided by mu 1. 0 by anything equal to how much? 0. Sin R value equal to 0. Sin R value equal to 0. So R value equal to how much? 0 degree. R value equal to 0 degree. Angle of refraction, how much here? R equal to 0 degree. Understood? Okay, so here a ray of light is following the path along normal direction and it is incidence perpendicular to the refracting surface. then that incident ray direction cannot deviate. What is the reason means second optical medium cannot affecting this path of light ray. Okay, do you identify this point? In the second condition, we have to consider these two mediums are same medium. We have to consider that incident ray direction from one medium to another medium, that light ray direction cannot deviate. So what is the reason means both the mediums are same mediums. In this condition, we have to consider that sin I equal to sin R. Okay, sin I equal to sin R, or we have to represent U1 sin I equal to U1 sin R. U1 sin R. Angle of incidence equal to angle of refraction. Angle of incidence equal to angle of refraction. Because of that reason, that ray can following the path is actual path of incident ray. Understood? We have to consider in this direction. What is the direction of refracted ray? Direction of refracted ray is also same direction of actual path of incident ray. So we have to consider that condition mu1 sin I equal to mu2 sin I. Both the refractive index of the medium same. mu1, mu. Okay, understood students? Do you have any doubt? So we have to note down these two conditions. Very, very important example problems. Here angle I equal to angle O. Angle I equal to angular. What is the reason? We consider same. Next, we have to start our concept, refraction of light through curved surface. Refraction of light through curved surface. It is our lesson. Okay, students. Refraction of light through curved surface. Okay, refraction of light through curved surface. Okay, surface. We have to discussing about that refracting surface. How many types of refracting surface? Generally, we have to consider three types of surfaces. First one, plane surface. First one, plane refracting surface. Plane refracting surface. X, Y. XY, one plane refracting surface. We have to identify this one plane refracting surface. This plane refracting surface can separate the two optical mediums. Okay, here above medium we have to identify medium 1. Medium 1. It represents rarer optical medium. Okay, or denser optical medium, whatever it is. Medium 1. Second one, below the medium, below the surface, we have to consider one medium. That medium we have to represent medium 2. Almost here identify that this plane refracting surface can separate the two mediums. Yes or no? Okay, the next one we have to consider another two refracting surface. Here one refracting surface, just identify the surface is curved surface. The surface is curved surface. This curved surface can separate the two mediums. One medium, here we have to identify air medium, another medium, glass medium. Another medium, glass medium. Just identify this surface can separate the two mediums. One medium is air medium, another medium is a glass medium. Next, one more refracting surface we have to identify. So this refracting surface generally have to represent like this. The surface is called as a concave curved surface. Concave curved surface. It represents convex curved surface. Convex curved surface. It represents concave curved surface. Concave curved surface. Convex curved surface. Another one, concave curved surface. That curved surface can separate the two mediums. One medium, air medium, another medium, glass medium. Okay, so we have to consider three refracting surface. One is plane refracting surface, another one convex refracting surface, next one concave refracting surface. What is the use of that refracting surface? Refracting surface can separate the two mediums. Separate the two mediums. Understood? Okay, now we have to discuss refraction through curved surfaces. Refraction through curved surface. How many curved surface are there? Two curved surface. One is convex curved surface, another one concave curved surface. Understood? Now first we have to discuss about this refraction through curved surface. Here, refraction through curved surface we want to discuss. First, we can follow some rules and regulations. What are that rules? What are the rules? First rule one is laws of refraction. What is that first rule of law of refraction? First law of refraction, if ray of light is traveling from rarer to denser, its direction deviates. Okay, here refractor ray consider bends towards normal. Yes or no? It is a first law of refraction. If ray of light is traveling from rarer optical medium to denser optical medium, refracted ray bends towards normal. If ray of light is traveling from denser optical medium to rarer optical medium, then refracted ray bends away from normal. Then bends away from normal. Yes or no? So we have to consider that first law of refraction. We have to consider that first law of refraction. So it represents first law of refraction. Second law of refraction. Second law of refraction. Second law of refraction can explain Snell's law. Which one? Snell's law. Snell's law means incident ray, refracted ray, normal, consider at a point on refracting surface. Incident ray, normal, and refracted ray consider at a point on a refracting surface. We have to consider this incident ray, refracted ray, normal at a point on refracting surface. Okay, so Snell's law is also called as a second law of refraction. These two laws we have to apply for this condition, refraction of light through curved surface. Okay, students. Now we have to discuss one by one. Rule one. Rule one. Okay, here convex curved surface separate two mediums. First medium mu1, second medium mu2. N1 we have to consider Nana, N1, second medium N2. N1, N2 represents refractive index of two mediums. First one N1, second one N2. Now consider midpoint of this curved surface. Midpoint of this curved surface represents pole. Okay, center for curved surface. Center for this curved surface is called as center of curvature. Center of curvature. Center of curvature point we have to consider inside medium. We have to consider inside medium. Don't forget, we have to imagine one sphere. Here is one sphere. Center for this sphere. Center for this sphere is nothing but center of curvature for this curved surface. Okay, you have to imagine this imaginary sphere. Okay, imaginary sphere. So center for this imaginary sphere is nothing but center for this curved surface. This curved surface is one part of a solid sphere, one part of a solid sphere. Because of that reason, we have to imagine that imaginary solid sphere. Okay, students, now we can draw one reference line. We have to draw one reference line. That reference line is required to explain that path of incident ray and refracted ray. So draw one reference line. This reference line is passing through pole and the center of curvature. Pole and the center of curvature. This line is called as principal axis. Principal axis. Principal axis is going through pole and the center of curvature. Okay, students. Now we have to consider rule 1. If ray of light is traveling from rarer optical medium to denser optical medium. Rarer optical medium to denser optical medium. First law of refraction. If ray of light is traveling from rarer optical medium to denser optical medium, then refracted ray bends towards normal. Bends towards normal. Where is the normal in this condition we have to identify? We know incident ray direction, that incident ray direction parallel to the principal axis. It represents incident ray. Where is the normal? Where is the normal in this diagram? Normal is always perpendicular to the point of incidence. Yes, sir? Okay, so we have to represent that normal. Normal is always perpendicular to the point of incidence. Perpendicular to the point of incidence. Okay, that normal makes 90 degrees with respect to curved surface. With respect to curved surface, this normal is appear from center of curvature. This normal is appear from center of curvature. This point is very, very important. Okay, we have to represent that normal for sphere or curved surface. Okay, we have to represent that normal for sphere or curved surface. That normal we have to consider from center of curvature. We have to consider from center of curvature. That normal makes 90 degrees with respect to curved surface. Just identify this point. Here, ray of light is traveling from rarer optical medium to denser optical medium. Then refracted ray bends towards normal. We have to consider refracted ray bends towards normal. Understood? Okay, it represents rule 1. It represents rule 1. Okay, students, you have to identify this point. Next one, rule 2. Next one, rule 2. Rule 2, midpoint of this curved surface Midpoint of this curved surface represents pole. Center for this curved surface is called as center of curvature. Draw one reference line through pole and center of curvature. Through pole and the center of curvature, this reference line is called as principal axis. Okay, you have to identify this one. Principal axis. Okay, now we have to consider that ray of incident light parallel to the principal axis. Parallel to the principal axis from denser optical medium to rarer optical medium. From denser optical medium to rarer optical medium. Is the condition 1. It represents condition 2. Here direction of light we consider from denser optical medium to rarer optical medium. So refractive index of second optical medium mu2, refractive index of first optical medium mu1. So consider this medium air, this medium glass. Okay, now we have to find out that path of refracted ray. Path of refracted ray. Just identify normal is always represents from center of curvature and it is perpendicular to curved surface in both the mediums. Okay, it represents normal. N1, N2, N1 and N2. What is the first law of refraction? If ray of light is traveling from denser optical medium to rarer optical medium, refracted ray bends away from normal. Yes or no? It is air medium. It represents water medium. Here, direction of incident ray we have to consider from water medium to air medium. After refraction, refracted ray bends away from normal. Bends away from normal. Now tell me that direction of refracted ray in this condition. What is the direction from glass medium to air? Denser optical medium to air, rarer optical. What is the direction of refracted ray? Bends away from the normal. Bends away from the normal, we have to represent this. Understood? Bends away from the normal, we have to represent refracted away from the normal. Here, angle of incidence, angle of refraction we have to calculate. Angle between incident ray and normal is called as angle of incidence. Angle between refracted ray and normal is called as angle of refraction. Angle of refraction is always greater than angle of incidence in this condition. What about in this condition, Anna? What about the angle of incidence? Angular we have to consider between normal and refracted. Here angle I greater than angle R. What is the direction? Rarer optical medium to denser optical. So laws of refraction is applicable for these conditions. First law of refraction. Angle I more than to angle R. The first condition here consider the direction of incident ray from rarer optical medium to denser optical. The second condition we have to consider direction of light ray from denser optical medium to rarer optical medium. Then we have to consider that angle of incidence and angle of refraction. Angle of incidence more than to angle of incidence less than to angle of refraction. Understood? Okay, so note down these 2 points. Yes. Next, rule 3. Rule 2 also completed. Next, we have to discuss rule 3. Okay, rule 3. Just identify rule 3. for convex curved surface. For convex curved surface, we have to represent the principal axis. Here, pole of the curved surface P. Center of curvature for this curved surface is C. Now we have to consider that the direction of incident ray from rarer optical medium to denser optical medium. But that incident ray can follow along actual path of, along principal axis direction. What is the direction of incident ray? Along principal axis direction. Here, principal axis perpendicular to the curved surface. Perpendicular to the curved surface means here actual path of, here incident ray and following the path along the normal direction. Following the path along normal direction, we have to represent that normal. Normal for this curved surface. Normal for this curved surface. Normal for this curved surface represents along the principal axis. Very, very important. Okay, so this point already I explained with the help of second law of refraction. If ray of light perpendicular to the refracting surface, then refracted ray cannot deviate. It can follow the path is actual path of incident ray. Actual path of incident ray. Now we can identify the direction of refracted ray. Direction of refracted ray along actual path of incident ray. Okay, students, in another direction I have to represent. Now just identify here incident ray is exactly perpendicular to the refracting surface. Incident ray exactly perpendicular to the refracting surface. Then refracted ray cannot deviate. This is passing through center of curvature. What is the reason? Here incident ray makes 90 degrees with respect to curved surface. Here incident ray following the path is normal. Is normal. If ray of incident and following the path is normal, then refracted ray direction is same of actual same of incident ray. Yes, we have to identify this point. So in this condition, what is the direction of refracted ray? Actual path of incident ray. Actual path of incident ray. Have to consider this medium cannot affect this light ray in denser optical medium. Due to that reason, it can follow the path is straight line path. In another direction, we have to consider here also here incident ray perpendicular to the refracting surface. Perpendicular to the refracting surface, normal direction, incident ray direction. Normal direction, incident ray direction is same. Okay, then refracted ray cannot deviate. It can follow the path is actual path of incident ray. Actual path of incident ray. Okay, na? So it represents rule 3. We have to follow these 3 rules. We have to follow these three rules. What are the rules we discussed in laws of refraction? The first law of refraction. The 3 rules we have to apply for this convex curved surface. Okay, students, we have any doubt? So tomorrow we have to discuss rules for concave curved surface. Rules for concave curved surface. Don't forget. Okay. Time over. Telugu sir waiting for us.